Let's bring in Arise Middle East analyst Dr. Saul Zadka from LA. Good to see you on Newsnight tonight. Well, what are the chances of this escalation not becoming a Middle East situation, not spreading?
I don't think that the conflict would be limited only to Gaza. There are increasing signs that it may also involve Hezbollah in Lebanon. But although Hezbollah reassured the Lebanese government that they're not going to be involved or implicated in the Gaza conflict by attacking Israel from the north, there are some signs that suggest that the Israeli wounded government would be tempted to attack Hezbollah in South Lebanon, simply as a preemptive attack in order to eliminate the military firepower that Hezbollah has been accumulating against Israel for many years. At the same time, of course, the air raids on Gaza continue. And if Israel is calling up 300,000 reservists to its ranks, it is also suggests that the Israeli army is about to launch a ground incursion. And this is something that Hamas may be interested in, because the idea of releasing hostages in Gaza Strip who are kept in tunnels by Hamas fighters is simply unsustainable.
Because what exactly is going on here? Because I recall then we have had these conversations, you and I, when it was building up. But again, looking at what we're saying now, it looks more like a full-blown war. Do you think that this is just more than Hamas taking on Israel, looking at what we're seeing?
It is, at the moment, a confrontation between Hamas, backed by Iran, and Israel, by the Americans who are moving their fleets to the Mediterranean shores. But who can guarantee that this conflict would not escalate and widespread and involve other countries like Syria and, as I said before, Lebanon? One cannot ignore the fact that the domination of Iran as the staunch backer of Hamas is in evidence in any shape and form. Now I'm sitting now in Los Angeles, and I hear voices from American senior politicians that because 11 Americans were killed by Hamas, mostly during the party close to the Gaza border, it is the obligation of the American people not only to assist Israel in eliminating Hamas in Gaza, but also to hit the leadership of Iran. So sooner or later, we may see an unprecedented escalations in which the United States and Iran would be involved in the conflict.
And what would be the wider implications of this? I mean, for the global community, you have Russia, Ukraine going on the one hand, and, you know, the dire straits that the global community finds itself now. What will be the wider implications?
Absolutely. I think that the Russians are very happy, in my opinion, about the events in Gaza, simply because it helped her to focus on the atrocities that its forces are committing in Ukraine. They were very, very ambivalent about whether or not to condemn Hamas over the atrocities on Saturday, as much as the Chinese were not so excited about the idea of denouncing the Hamas terrorist attacks on Saturday. At the same time, I think there is a chance that many other Arab countries, under the encouragement of Iran, would be tempted to get in, although it will be militarily quite impossible on their part to do it. So we are seeing a situation, as you said, in which a tiny terrorist organization like Hamas can trigger a global confrontation in which the superpowers are also involved.
Saul Zadka from LA, thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight. We do hope that things don't get totally out of hand.